Hey everybody, this is your daily dose of all things royal. Welcome back, my gorgeous, good-looking friends. The hits just keep on coming. Meghan is an unlimited source of entertainment for all. Like, why can't this couple just act normal? Particularly this wife. Check out what she's wearing. Again, with the crumpled, messy looking pants. What a sign of disrespect to these veterans. Like, look at the contrast of the woman that is wearing the cream pants. Look how nicely pressed her pants look. And I bet that they are the same material of what this trash bag is wearing. Kids don't even want to stand next to her, as it's evident in this photo. This little blonde girl just is leaning slightly away from Meghan. It's bad when the kids don't even want you there. Come on, Meghan and Harry, read the room. Watch what happens next. You see where Harry is? He's cut off halfway partially, and he's pointing over to Meghan. When you see they expand the actual frame, you notice that there's a girl, she's standing there with her arms crossed, and she looks sullen. Apparently, this girl didn't want to receive the medal from Meghan and was pissed off that she had to receive it from her. I would be too. How cringeworthy this is when the children don't want to be near you, nor do they want to accept a medal from you because they don't see you as anyone. And, Harry, he looks frazzled. He's doing his thing and he's trying to get through this event. Meghan wants to get through it. She hates doing this. We all know that. She hates doing this, but it's for the optics. It's not working, WME. Your client looks even that much more like an asshole. My guess is that the reception that Meghan was receiving from these children was not authentic enough, hence the reason why she brought out the claw to pull Harry away to go on to getting the next photo opportunity that she had lined up and staged. I'm sure Meghan heard, "Meghan, the Sussex squad is here," somewhere in the background. Now take a look at this next video. This had me enraged when I saw this, and I don't understand what Invictus Games was thinking when they allowed these two to go ahead and be a part of this. This is supposed to be part of the award ceremony, and these two decide that they need to be a part leading the processional of these military out onto the court. Why does Meghan think that she has the right to march with these people? She's never served, and here she is leading the charge. And look at Harry. Harry, show some respect and stand up straight for once at least and go on command. You were part of the service. Act like it. Don't look like you're dragging your feet to be there. This is such an insult, guys, and I can't understand how Invictus Games allowed these two to promote themselves when these folks should be getting the attention. This is such an insult to all those have served, with these two taking their spotlight away and making it about themselves. Shame on you, Meghan and Harry, shame on you. I don't feel bad for 1 second to criticize Meghan by calling her an unhinged hyena. She looks mentally unstable, and by doing this and having zero self-awareness, as well as gaslighting and forcing her face into people's spaces. And when I say into people's spaces, that means saturating and consuming the media with that rictus grin of hers, like it's manic. And I simply can't understand, how is it that the people around her that are supposed to be managing her brand and her image, allowing this saturation to happen? Do they not fully understand the history with this woman? My guess is that they don't, because here in America, nobody really gave two shits about these two. They didn't know who Meghan Markle was, and I'm sure they didn't follow it as closely as we did. I guarantee they don't know half the stuff that we have talked about, especially the stuff that was mentioned in Tom Bower's book, because let's remember, here in the United States, that book was suppressed, so not that many people were reading it. It's who's the audience that they're really targeting? To me, it appears that they're targeting, again, the impressionable youth who were never interested in her in the first place and know nothing or care to know anything about Meghan and Harry. Now, I always said that Meghan has a funhouse mirror inside her head, and it's why we see her with some of these ridiculous-looking outfits that just don't fit her properly, as well as just looking messy and unkept. In her mind, what she's seeing is some supermodel that she can't understand why she gets all this criticism. Now, I just checked and I'm hoping that Cheetah does a drawing of this because she looks like a cartoon in this photo. Her recent photo here is hilarious, like so spot on. And I really hope she does do more of these because there's so much material. And I can't wait to see what South Park is going to do for the second Worldwide Privacy Tour episode. Let's hope that it comes soon because there's so much comedy gold in all of this. And speaking of comedy gold, no Meghan show is complete without an awkward instance. And I think this now is going to trump the polo video. For copyright reasons, I have to interject about every 10 seconds or so, but there's so much to say anyway. Check this out.
Where it began, I can't begin to know.
So there they are sitting, and Sweet Caroline comes on by Neil Diamond, and so far so good. She's clapping, looking fairly normal with this rictus grin. Seriously, her head must be pounding from clenching so much. But anyhow, Harry doesn't look too enthused, and he's trying his best to be interactive with her.
But then I know it's growing strong.
And here we go, Meghan interacting with no one again.
Wasn't the spring?
It's clear this is an A and B conversation. Meghan, see your way out of it. Nobody is talking to you. Stop.
And spring became the summer. Who'd have believed you'd come?
Like, why does she do this? Meghan, you're not a part of the conversation. Stop butting yourself into everything. Like, you look stupid. And then you get these moments where then the whole world starts laughing at you. And yes, I am laughing at you because you once again look like the biggest jackass.
Are you ready?
Hands
Oh, let me touch it.
touching hands.
Here we go.
Gosh, how cringe is this? Even the person next to her won't even look at her. So she's there, like, pretending that she's engaged with everybody. And while everybody around her are singing together, no one wants to sing with Meghan. And here she is looking like a fool once again. And it's so reminiscent of that USO Christmas special.
Christmas, you can link arms and weave just like the ones I used to know. Come on, act like you each other. Where the treetops glisten.
For a couple who are so obsessed about what people say about them, how is Harry mentally handling the fact that nobody likes his wife and that nobody wants to be around his wife, especially children? Like, he's got to have a level of embarrassment himself because, when we see him without her, he is like so happy and normal around others. But then when she shows up, it's like the air gets sucked out of the room and he ends up turning into this angry, fidgety, irritated man. Like, you have to pay attention to it's not everybody around you that is at fault. It could be the person sitting right next to you. And I think that he does realize that. And I think right now he is just trying to get through it. So with all this awkwardness, then you add on to this little piece of tea that's flying around social media today. And this anonymous person, and I think there's others that are saying the same thing, goes into saying, I had the unfortunate to see the wrinkled shorts live today. One of her legs is much more thin than the other. The last days were very hot in Germany. Today, it's not. So her shorts will give her a good freeze. And I don't know how she gets all those wrinkles in her shorts. I was sitting in my unironed shirt behind her, and it hasn't that much wrinkles. Some of her face parts cannot move. They look like wax. Her teeth can move. She stinks. It's a mixture of perfume, smoke, and whatever. Now, for whatever reason, the Sugars today have been pushing this photo around, saying that this is the picture of what love is supposed to look like. I personally think that this is to mask the fact that maybe Harry was smelling her armpits and like saying, babe, you smell like rotten fish. You need to go home and shower. That's what I think. No perfume brand, Dior, Chanel, nobody's going to want to touch this if like it's getting around that she reeks. And, it kind of makes sense why those kids were like trying to stay far away from her because of the odor that may have been emanating from her. I mean, I guess Harry and Meghan really are soulmates because I hear that he's equally as funky as well and doesn't take showers and leaves his underwear everywhere. And that's just rumor. None of this I know to be true. This is just what's being spread all over the media. Take it for what it's worth. Now, the last part of this video, I want to share 2 posts that were made by Benjamin Smallbrook, found on Quora. And he writes, as of Wednesday, September 13th, she's still acting and still trying to fool the public. Meghan Markle has been made a flying visit to the Invictus Games in Germany. But don't be fooled. If the truth was known, she had no choice. She is trying to salvage any future she has, a future without the dim one. The world knows their marriage is over, and they haven't been living together for several months. And I would have to agree with that. This is no secret. Netflix is filming this event as part of a multi-million-dollar deal. The streaming giant would have made it clear to them that anything less than a united front would lead to contracts being canceled, litigation, and a payback, but even more, the most damaging publicity possible for Meghan Markle. The actress would have been concerned that this would be made public, causing her big problems in any future deals she wants to make. Spotify executives called her out for being unreliable and, along with Harry, 2 grifters. The actress could not afford for Netflix to do the same. This led to the quick visit to the Invictus Games. Greg Peters, the joint CEO of Netflix, is rumored to have called an emergency meeting just days ago, demanding to know why Markle, who was originally named on the official guest list, had now been hastily deleted. Netflix was more than embarrassed when Spotify pulled the plug on the grifting duo. They didn't want their own reputation to take a hit by being seen as a company who signed up those who were ditched by others, but the damage was done. Netflix has been aware for a while, they have been informed many times, that the elephant in the room is the question of the 2 kids that have never met any members of their own royal family. Netflix must have asked the duo, why not? To keep the Netflix party rolling along in Germany, Markle gushed in front of the cameras telling everyone, "So sorry that I was a little late. I had to spend more time with our little ones getting milkshakes and doing the school drop-off." As Oprah Winfrey would say, what? Now, I read this particular post out because it does give a possibility as to why Meghan made that bizarre speech and statement, as well as her looking so manic and frenzied, and as well just completely forced and fake. This could be a driving factor as to what is going on behind the scenes as a possibility. And I tend to believe Benjamin Smallbrook because he has been consistent in his writings and his connections with some of the people who have their ear to the ground and knows sort of what's going on with this ridiculous couple. From what I'm witnessing and seeing feedback from newspaper articles, what people are saying on social media, my thoughts on the whole thing, the harder that Meghan tries, the more of a disaster that this is becoming. And just in the short time frame that she has landed in Invictus, even though she's trying really hard to look like she's involved and she cares, it is so forced and so contrived, and people see it. And then on top of it, if she smells and her mask is slipping, people are going to start leaking and telling stories of what they're witnessing, which we're starting to see happen. I also think, too, that the longer that this goes on, the more damaging this is going to be. I think she should just pack her stuff up and go home now, back to her kids, and just lay low for a while. Stop putting stuff out into the press. Literally just stop. Because even though you may not be seen, we know that your people are putting stuff out there and constantly shoving her image in our faces. No, you're not the next Diana, Princess of Wales 2.0. No, you're not an influencer, a global one at that. And no, nobody's going to want to be associated with any of the brands that you're touching. So just know the longer they give her a platform, she's going to continue to keep sabotaging herself with these ridiculous outings and looking absolutely disconnected from what's really going on, which then outs her out more as the fraud that she is. This is just my opinion. And the final piece that I want to talk about is a recent post, literally today, again, by Benjamin Smallbrook. And I think this pretty much summarizes up what we knew was eventually or is eventually going to happen. And he writes, the actress has nothing to lose. Many people are saying she will go out with a bang. We are now hearing that Markle is writing a book. Her tell-all memoir is her final goodbye to royal life. I don't know if this will be the final act for Meghan. Meghan may convince herself that it is, but she is definitely like a bad rash and will keep coming back as long as she has those two invisible kids as her foot in the door. I think she will come back because Meghan is like that bad rash that keeps coming back and flaring up every once in a while. I do think, too, that, whatever she says, it will be the complete opposite. I mean, how many times do we have to hear her say that she needs to tell her story and her truth? I mean, the Oprah interview was supposed to be it, and they still keep talking about the same thing. So I could see this going on for many years to come, and this is going to be Meghan's gravy train. Somehow, some way. If not with her after this book, now with the kids. Anyhow, I digress, continuing on. She knows it's all over for her. It's been made perfectly clear that not one of the royals wants to meet her again. She knows she is hated by the British public. I live in Bray, a few miles from Windsor, and I can confirm that the residents of this royal town will never forget how she turned the Queen's last few years into a living hell. To say, as people believe, she hastened the Queen's death is spot on. The royals also believe this. The family was united in Charles's decision not to allow the duplicitous actress anywhere near the Queen's deathbed. What we may read in the press about a reconciliation with the royal family can be taken with a pinch of salt. It's not going to happen. The Duchess of Netflix, as TV Talk called her this morning, has effectively been banned from our aisles. When Harry told the Queen they intended to be half-in, half-out royals, working abroad but coming back for big royal events and ceremonies, investitures, Buckingham Palace garden parties, trooping the colour, and the like, the Queen, to her credit, was given none of it. Guided and supported by Philip, she told Meghan Markle to get out of the UK. Some will say they chose to step back from royal life. This isn't true. Markle and the dim one were given the order of the boot, and was confirmed today by a London journalist who is a national treasure in Fleet Street. Harry's wife has become very bitter. As we know, she is insanely jealous of Catherine, the Princess of Wales, the woman who is to be queen. The actress can't cope with seeing Catherine's happy family enjoying well-deserved adulation from the public. The actress is unpopular, not only in Britain, but also in the US. She knows it. We all know it. Her last throw of the dice will be her tell-all memoir. We must understand the publisher, whoever it will want to make money on their investment. They will encourage her to trash the royals. They will happily turn a blind eye to her lies in making the royals look bad. Markle will see this as payback time. She will also use her memoir to throw Harry under the bus. She doesn't need him anymore. He has served his purpose. She can ditch him, shame the royals, and make millions of dollars in the process. And she will. I have to agree with Benjamin Smallbrook. I do believe that the finale will be some tell-all Diana-style book. In the meantime, we're still going to have to deal with this facade that they keep putting up here for the world to see, which is going to be interesting to see what's going to happen over the next 2 days, how much more of an ass she's going to make of herself. There's no doubt that it will happen, but it'd just be interesting to see what is left that she has up her sleeve. Obviously, some of this stuff talked about in this video is to be taken with a grain of salt. None of this alleged story about Meghan's book, etc., has been validated or confirmed, but I think a lot of us do believe that this is what's coming next, and I believe that the royals are getting themselves prepared. It sure does look like Meghan's world is crashing all around her. And let's not forget, she still has Samantha's lawsuit that's still a big fat thorn in her side. Just the other day on 9/11, an update was given to which Judge Honeywell had issued the okay for a mediation to take place on December 18, 2023 via Zoom. Now, I think this is a positive sign since the judge has yet to rule whether a motion to dismiss will happen. The fact that she has submitted and signed for mediation to take place could be pointing in the direction of going to trial. This could get extremely bad for Meghan if this happens. Now, do we think Samantha will end up settling? I don't know. That's a topic that I will be discussing in a separate video. But what do you guys think? What do you think about Meghan's world crumbling all around her? I think it's glorious because she's getting what she deserves. After all that she has put so many people through, I'm not feeling sorry, nor I'm feeling bad for her because of what she has done and has yet to acknowledge or apologize for the wrong that she has caused. So leave your thoughts below. I'll be interested in hearing about this. But before I go, please don't forget to hit that like button if you think I earned it. I really do appreciate it. It does help with getting the channel more visibility. And as always, I will be back with more content. But until then, please be safe and I will talk to you later. Bye.
I was such a fraud.